Hello everyone, it's Moon. It's been an entire month for my No by Year, and things have been brought to light. To be totally honest, when I first was getting going, I actually thought to myself, oh dang, I don't think I really need to be doing this. I'm pretty golden. I don't actually think I've got a weird relationship with shopping. This is probably going to be a really boring video series. I was wrong. So let's go ahead and talk about how the month went, what I have noticed, and my thoughts and feelings of it all. If you are new here and you're interested in following me along on this journey of mine, please subscribe. It would truly mean so much to me. So let's start with what I noticed right out of the gate. At the beginning of January, I noticed myself dying to use up certain products and weirdly scared to use up other ones. Skincare, hair care, things like that. I wanted to use them up as quickly as I could so that I could buy more, buy replacements of those items. And on the opposite side of that spectrum, things like my favorite perfume, my favorite lipstick, my favorite stickers. I was afraid to use up because I can't buy more of those things. So I don't want to run out of them because I have others to choose from in those categories. I can't replace them if I use them up. This was a really weird dilemma to find myself in. And I also caught myself on a day when I had some errands to run, rummaging through my toiletries with this really weird voracity, like looking for something that was empty so that I could buy another one, so that I could replace it, which was really uncomfortable to notice about myself, because why would I need to buy more of something that I already had? But other than that, I was feeling pretty good. I didn't feel a temptation to be buying new things just for their own sake. I just had a desire to buy replacements. Probably because in my mind, I have this agreement with myself that I can buy replacements. So my brain was allowing me to want to get those things, instead of focusing on new other things that I knew I wasn't technically allowed to be considering. Then I had a really bad day and I went grocery shopping. I actually needed to go grocery shopping, but this was different. Firstly, I went to a grocery store that I never really go to. This was totally intentional because I wanted to be in a new environment with new items to consider and peruse. And I also spent way more time in that grocery store than I needed to, just looking at different things and items that were unique to that grocery store. This was Trader Joe's, by the way, and I hardly ever shop there. Now, I did not buy more than I needed to. I actually stuck to my list, and I spent very little money. I spent less money on groceries than I anticipated that I would, to be totally frank. However, I went shopping specifically on that day, at that time, because I was sad. And instead of just going on a grocery run, I made it into a thing. So that's telling me I'm not exactly golden. But when it came to makeup and stuff that I guess I would consider kind of weaker areas, I was pretty much cruising. I wasn't even thinking about makeup, buying new makeup, to be totally honest. And then I went to Target. I always look at the makeup and nail beauty area in Target without fail every time I go in. And I went on this whole emotional roller coaster about it, and I realized that I wasn't as strong as I thought that I was. I just hadn't gone to the shops yet. So I went from feeling fine to feeling like, oh crap, to giving myself a pep talk saying I can do this, I'm moving on, I'm getting in, I'm getting what I need, and I'm getting out. I felt really good about that. I felt like I had jumped a hurdle, I guess. And a few days later, I had to stop by CVS. And that's when I felt sad for the first time. It was at that moment when I went to CVS, I looked at their giant beauty palace, that I realized, dang, this is for a whole year. Like the whole year. It really kicked in at that moment for me. It was the first time I'd gone into a CVS and I was like, I can't get anything. Even if I want it, I can't get it. That feeling, however, passed. I'm sure it'll come up again, to be honest, but it only lasted a few minutes and then I kind of just forgot about it. As a disclaimer, I feel like there were a few things this month that made it a little bit easier for myself. I had purchased a couple of things with my cash tips, like stationery things, at the end of December, and those things arrived in January. So I got some new things throughout the month as they were arriving in the mail. And it's also my birthday in January, so with that, I got a couple of free gifts from various stores. I also had to purchase a couple of makeup items for my film that I shot in January. Career purchases are not involved in my no-buy rules, but in case I forgot to specify that, if I have to purchase something to pursue my career, that's not involved in what I'm doing here. But since they were makeup items, it felt like, I'm shopping for makeup. So in a way, I definitely got to scratch that itch. I got to scratch the itch of getting new things and even shopping for and purchasing makeup items. I also, in my personal life, am doing a project pan, which if you haven't heard of what that is, it's basically just a project where you focus on using up specific makeup items within your collection. So I also felt like that helped me throughout the month because I was really focused on and excited about using up the makeup that I have instead of lusting after new stuff. So what did I buy in January? Because I did buy some things. For true and actual replacements, I purchased a replacement sunscreen, a hair conditioner, and a moisturizer. This was pretty cool actually because in order to purchase new ones or replacements of these items, I had to use up the dregs of like a few different sunscreens and hair conditioners and moisturizers that had just been sitting around for a few months, like tiny little bits that were left over for whatever reasons. I had to use all of that up before I purchased a replacement. And this was really satisfying for a couple of reasons. One being you get your money's worth. And another is that your space and your mind become less cluttered. Because when you have half-empty things just sitting around and accumulating, in your mind, it kind of becomes another chore, another thing that you have to deal with at some point. However, now there is only one hair conditioner, one moisturizer, one sunscreen, and it feels really good. Weirdly, strangely good. I purchased 2 more things and they were both for my film, a foundation and a concealer. I've kind of talked about this film a little bit, but on top of co-writer and co-producer and co-director, I'm also co-star in this movie, so I was acting on screen as well. The film is set in the past and my character is meant to not be wearing any makeup. A lot of it is shot outside, so it's important for the makeup to look very natural on my skin and match my skin. When I swatched the foundation that I have and the concealer that I have, I realized that they were just totally orange, which would have been fine for me. I would have dealt with it, honestly. I would have gone the entire year being slightly orange because it's really not super dramatic. However, on camera, in the setting that we were filming, it would have been quite obvious that my makeup didn't match the rest of my body very well. And as much as I have gone on about my love for makeup, I don't actually have a ton of it. So I just had the concealer that didn't match and the foundation that didn't match. So I had to purchase new ones. So in a way, it's kind of a loophole because I do get to keep those things, right? I'm not going to return them. They're mine now. Granted, I got rid of the other ones that didn't match me, so I don't have those anymore. I didn't acquire new things. It was a one in, one out thing. But I still got to get new makeup. So that was weird. This won't happen again throughout the year because even if I work another acting gig or modeling gig or something where I, for some reason, would be using my own makeup, like I did in this, I will have things that match and look very good. So that was a loophole that I genuinely didn't plan on worming my way through. It was unintentional. It won't happen again throughout the year, but in full transparency, that's what did happen. I don't consider it breaking my no-buy because I purchased these tools for my career, for work, but I do get to keep them. So that's weird, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But nothing in any other category, not even ones I'm allowed to purchase in, like clothes and things like that. I didn't buy anything else for the entire month. I had a really busy month, and I also think that that helped me out. I just didn't have time, or I didn't have space in my brain to think about stuff I wanted to buy. I was really mostly concerned with, like, how am I going to get enough sleep? So that's month one. It was weird, and I felt some pangs of longing. I also felt some ease from different sources. But most of all, I feel confident now that this is the right thing for me to be doing right now in my life. And I think I'm going to learn a lot. So that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Until then,